one thing I like really enjoy is making people happy and, helping people like enjoy their life in whatever way, shape, or form that is. Uh, I love, I'm like a big gift giver. So I would just love giving gifts. So I feel like being a travel agent is kind of like helping people and giving them like this gift of stress-free planning. And I think like that's a big, I don't know, drive for me, or a driver for me in terms of being a travel agent.
Let's put that genie back in the bottle.
Paints with the colors of the wind, bitch.
It's time for 2 Finger Point.
Power daddy.
Our shoes are in the pond.
Extra magic hours, which we in turn called extra tragic hours.
People call him the naked mole rat.
Did you really just 2 finger point?
Here are your hosts, Amber and Kylie.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of 2 Finger Point Podcast. I'm Kylie.
I'm Amber.
And we have a very special guest with us today. She is a Disney travel agent and also a listener of the podcast. She's a loyal one. We greatly appreciate her. Her name is Zoe. So welcome to the podcast, Zoe.
Hi, guys.
All right, so she's going to join us. We're doing something a little new going forward. It's going to be much more structured, so you guys know what to expect every week. All right, so Disney news at Disneyland, or this time it'll be more so of California Adventure. Rogers the Musical is now showing, and the food is phenomenal. So Amber, you ended up going last night, right?
Yeah. So I went, it was really hard, honestly, to find a lot of this food around, which was kind of depressing. I was looking for it, but you saw signs for Roger the Musical everywhere, which was really cool. So I know the presence is definitely there. I got to try the pastrami dog yesterday. I did find that. They had it at Award Wieners over there right off of Hollywood, land.
Okay.
Hot take, I'm not going to lie, I didn't love it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know. I think the biggest problem was, first of all, it's really messy. There's a lot more going on than I kind of anticipated. It's a little bit wetter of a hot dog than I anticipated. So I think that kind of threw me, which I know that already.
Wetter is such a gross word for a hot dog.
Right? Like yeah. And on top of it too, like the provolone that they put on there, you would have thought it would have been like melted with like the hot pastrami and the hot dog. It wasn't melted cheese. So, and with it being fresh too, because they were pretty busy. It didn't hit for me, unfortunately.
That's
Bummer.
fair. So for the listeners who don't know what she's talking about, she had the pastrami pretzel dog. It's available for $11.99. It's an all beef dog with pastrami, whole grain mustard, provolone, sauerkraut, and Thousand Island dressing.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it had hope. I was really excited because I like pastrami, and with the hot dog, I thought, the 2 salty meats would have gone really well together, and, mustard and all. I thought like a Reuben with a hot dog, right? That's essentially what it was. And yeah, it just didn't hit the way that I was anticipating, unfortunately.
Too wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so gross, Amber. I'm going to be thinking about it for a while now.
I'm sorry. No, but we were on almost like a manhunt for this Cap Everything dog that they have too. So this was for $11.99. It was a hot link wrapped in pizza dough with everything bagel seasoning with a side of mustard cheese with the potato chips. Could not find this anywhere. I was like scouring every single ODV cart in California Adventure, and I just couldn't seem to find this hot dog.
That's such a bummer. That's the one I probably would have gone for. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Oh. And then they also have some drinks available. They have the blue cherry hard tea, which is vodka, gin, rum, tequila with white cranberry juice, and then blue raspberry and cherry syrups. Sounds like a wild time. And then they
Wait, how many liquors is in that?
I was just going to say, this is like a Long Island.
That's 4. Yeah, exactly. That's what
intense.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then they have patriotic punch, which is Sprite with white cranberry juice, with blue raspberry and cherry syrups topped with whipped cream. So that one's more of a kiddo drink. But yeah, so either you can be completely sober or completely not, it sounds like.
Yeah, they're like, take your pick. You don't get to. There's like no black and white here. I mean, there's no gray area. It's very black and white here.
And then the other option in celebration of the musical is the popcorn bucket, of course, and it comes with red, white, and blue kettle corn, and that is available for $12.25.
I think I saw something like a picture of that on Instagram, and it would look really, really, I mean, yummy, but also like really pretty.
Yeah. Disney World news. So we have the 4th of July also at Epcot. They've got this really delicious shake available in the land. So it's at the Sunshine Seasons. It's for $12, and it is a red velvet shake. So
Yum. That does sound really good.
right?
Yeah.
Especially in the summer. So it's got red velvet cake, whipped cream, and red and blue sprinkles. And then also we have Spaceship Earth lit up. So it's really pretty in red, white, and blue right now.
Ooh. Also I know Disneyland, because I was looking yesterday. So we stayed for we quasi stayed for the fireworks. Actually, where we parked, you were able to see the fireworks perfectly, like right where our structure was. So we kind of got like a, our own personal view of it. But we thought it was the 4th of July fireworks because we couldn't really hear the music, but they actually do a special one for 4th of July, a fireworks special, at least at Disneyland. So I would assume Disney World, I'm sure does too.
Oh, probably. Do you remember when we walked through the World Showcase, and they had like I think it was America, they had like the colonial parade or whatever, and it had like George Washington and stuff?
I don't think so.
Maybe
I
don't know. I remember like all of our roommates walked through together through the showcase. Maybe it was a different time though with somebody else.
I remember us walking through Epcot because I remember we did that. That was like our big roommate outing. Like before we all started to know who we were. But I don't remember that specifically, but I mean, I'm sure that happened.
Yeah, I remember like this very colonial American parade going on. So they probably do something special with that at the time.
Quick question. So like in Disneyland per se, for 4th of July, is it just like last weekend and all the way up until tomorrow? Like how long does like a fireworks show like that like last basically? Like is it 4 nights or?
Yeah, so basically, like when I was doing research, because we just got the normal fireworks show, it was like the Wondrous Years one for the 100-year celebration. So I think they only do it for 4th of July specifically. Like everything else, it's just the normal fireworks shows that they run.
So like it's just a one-day kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Good. I mean, good question. Yeah, because I mean, you would think that they would run all weekend because I assumed the same thing too. So
right.
Okay, so we are going to ask Zoe some questions.
I'm so nervous.
No need to be nervous.
I know it's so silly, but
what are they? It's like chatting with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
I know. Gotta loosen up a little bit.
So we're just gonna ask you about yourself. So easy questions. So
cool.
As I mentioned, you are a Disney travel agent. So if you wouldn't mind, can you share with our listeners what that entails?
Yeah. So, and I don't mean to like correct you, Kylie, but like Disney's really like strict on the fact that we have to say that we're travel agents who specialize in Disney, which is like I think really interesting because they don't necessarily like, so I don't work for Disney, but I do work like with Disney, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah. So I help people in terms of like, I would say like any kind of travel. It's mostly Disney. I have a client right now who's boarding a cruise ship in a Norwegian cruise ship in Italy right now. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I help people kind of do whatever like they want to do and sort of, check those bucket list vacations off their list. But Disney's always been like so near and dear to my heart. I went to Disney World quite often as a kid. So, I help people book anything from tickets to the whole package, resort stays, cruise ships, Aulani in Hawaii, all of those awesome Disney deals. I mean, Disney honestly just does everything. So it's pretty cool to be able to work with them.
Oh, that's so cool. So like, how did that fall into your lap and what made you want to get into planning trips around Disney?
Yeah, good question. It's something I know a lot about, so it kind of just made sense. And I have a few friends who already do it. So I was hired by an old like theater friend who now has her like a travel agency and like has 10 travel agents. So she hired me, and yeah, I just thought it'd be fun.
So do you get just the discounts based on the deals you have access to for your clients, or do you have special ones as a travel agent?
Yeah. So I both, right? So I can get like they're doing that like 4-day 4-park ticket in
Mhm.
Disney World right now. So I could
Mhm.
totally get that if I wanted to. They do some pretty cool special deals for travel agents with like within cruise ships specifically. I mean, you can get discounts on like any hotel in Disneyland or Disney World, but the cruise ship thing I think is the coolest. Like once a year, you can pick like a cruise that is not full, and so they'll let you kind of pay in to like get it at a really like just super discounted price, and you can bring your family. You can book, I think at least just maybe it's just one room. I think it's one room, so you can go on a cruise for super cheap once a year.
That's pretty cool. That's a nice perk.
Yeah, I know, right? And I think, I mean, it makes sense. You get to like experience, the cruise. You get to kind of get to know the ship, so you build your knowledge base, but you also really get to like enjoy a trip with your family. And on top of that, Disney does it because they like you to be able to kind of help fill the ship, so it's not like super empty, during the cruise.
Totally.
We
Yeah.
gotta consider career changes, Amber.
I know. I'm like, this sounds
Come
awesome.
Come on over. I know. So, honestly, girls, so one of the things I love about it is like it's super flexible. It's remote. Like my life is just, nuts with having 2 little kids. So, I don't really 9 to 5, 5 days a week sounds miserable. Like I don't think I could ever do it. I know a lot of people do it and they do it well. And I'm so glad they do because I cannot, so it's just nice to be able to be like, yeah, I'll take this job, or no, like I don't have time for that. It's just the flexibility is awesome.
I like that. Yeah. I like that the flexibility of things too. Cause I currently do a 9 to 5, and
Ugh.
I don't know. I feel like I want to break out of that. I feel like, we don't have to stick to a 9 to 5. I think, there can be flexibility and things. I am fully remote right now, which is nice, but I think we can break out of that 9 to 5 mold, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you guys, like my whole life, I've been more of that flexible employee. Like my first career was in theater. So I just like, would do shows at night and like rehearse during the day. And there was never like a specific, like, just kind of day in, day out, 9 to 5, like strict schedule, which I really appreciate. And then my second career was like more in yoga. And so I'd teach, and then I'd go to the office, and it was just, I just like that sort of like, I don't know. When things get sort of mundane and kind of consistently like the same, it starts to wear at me. So I like the flexibility, but also like the diversity of everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
You sound like you have such a fun resume, like theater, yoga, now
Right.
planning people's trips.
You got to do what you love, right? You got to kind of go where your passion, your heart is. So I don't know. I never thought I would be doing this travel agent stuff, but I really love it. I feel so bad that I'm sitting here saying like, I love it because I get discounts, which is like true. But I think even more so than that, one thing I like really enjoy is making people happy, and, helping people like enjoy their life in whatever way, shape, or form that is. I'm like a big gift giver, so I just love giving gifts. So I feel like being a travel agent is kind of like helping people and giving them like this gift of stress-free planning. And I think like that's a big, I don't know, drive for me, or a driver for me in terms of being a travel agent.
100%.
Yeah.
So how often do you go to Disney, like the parks and everything, just to stay up to date?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel really bad. I haven't been in a hot second. I'm going to Disneyland end of August. And I'm super excited about it because last time I was in Disneyland was 2008. Ugh, you guys, that's like a few moments ago. So a lot has changed. I think California Adventure maybe was there, or like I don't even remember.
It was pretty new back then.
Yeah. So like I'm going for 3 full days. I'm really excited. I'm staying at the Disneyland Hotel.
Ooh.
I know. Amber, if you want to meet me at the park someday, you totally should.
Yes,
It's going to be
totally.
super fun. I just made reservations today for a couple restaurants. I think what's the one on Main Street where with Minnie for breakfast?
What's the name of that? Is it not the Plaza Inn, right?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Going there for breakfast on the 31st. And then I think some New Orleans Square. I don't know exactly what it is, but I've made some reservations already for like places I've never been. And there's just, I think there's just so much that's developed since I've been there. Disney World. Oh my gosh. When was the last time I went there? You guys, I feel so sad saying that. I mean, to be honest, I've been to Disney World more times than I can count. And that is a privileged thing to be able to say. But I think the last time I went was, 2019. That's not bad.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we haven't been since 2014, so you're good.
So I went. Actually, interestingly enough, I went to visit a friend who was in DCP in 2019.
Oh, wow.
Fun.
And I think she was living at, what's the place you guys stayed in? That was just really, really fancy and lovely and just, like had all the amazing amenities you could ever wish and dream of. Vista Way. I think she stayed there. So I think I've actually been in a Vista Way apartment before.
Oh, you know what we dealt with.
I'm so sorry.
It's so weird to see like something on Disney property not look like really amazing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you totally know what I mean because you live there. But it's just, I don't know. Disney's so funny to me because it's such a dichotomy between like being like happy and like beautiful, and then like, I don't know, a lot of cast members being like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of working at Disney. And then now I live at Vista Way. And like, there's just kind of this sort of like downside to it too. But yeah, anyway, I commend you guys. DCP doesn't seem like it's an easy thing at all.
Yeah.
The giant pause we both just had.
No comment.
So do you tend to take like preferences on resorts or experiences, or is it completely different for every client?
I think it's just so different. Everyone has, their own idea of what they're looking for in terms of like who they're catering to. So like I have a lot of friends who go with their husbands, or, I have a lot of friends who go with their kids for the first time, and those are totally different trips, right? Also, like I have a bunch of friends who have been like so many times. So then when they go, it's like they want to stay at a different resort than they've ever stayed at, or, like they want to do things that they've never done. They don't want like the tried and true, like they don't have to hit Peter Pan. Like, there's just so many things that like they don't have to do. So that totally changes the trajectory of their trip. But it's always fun to like book for people who are kind of newer to the parks and then be like, okay, so I have a really good girlfriend who's going actually in a couple weeks with her 2 little kids and her husband. And they've been before, but like not like this is their first big family trip to Disney World. And I booked all the reservations for dining, and I'm just so pumped. They're going to go to the Princess like Royal Table in Epcot, and then they're doing Space 220. They're doing Roundup Barbecue. Like there's just so many really cool new things too. So I get really excited to have people experience those things that I haven't been able to experience. So I get like feedback on that too. So I don't know, it just changes. Every person's so different.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like that because you kind of like, as you're booking, like you said, the experience, you kind of vicariously get to live that experience through like booking it for them.
Yes, 100%. So my cousin, who's like, my whole family is like just super Disney. My mom's younger brother used to work for ABC. So like they go to Disney like 3 times a year. They live in South Carolina. So they're always there. They were just there. They went on Disney Wish for a few days, and then they spent like a week in the parks. And I don't have to help them book tickets or any of it. Like they've been there so many times. It's like basically like they figure it out themselves. But I did book reservations, and I got a bunch of pictures of like Space 220 and all this really cool stuff that like, I don't know. I was like, okay, tell me the best drink there. Like, what would you order? And so it gives me kind of good like feedback for the next client that I have.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fun. And I think you guys, honestly, this sounds so silly because I feel like such an old lady saying this, but I really enjoy like the social media aspect of it too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've been like digging into all my old photos. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys just wait for like the really ridiculous, like embarrassing junior high photos of me with like Pluto. Like they're coming. They're somewhere downstairs in my basement, and I'm going to find them, and I will release them.
I'm getting ready to do the same, to be honest.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some fun rapid fire questions for you.
Ooh.
So rapid
Okay.
fire favorites, just say first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
All right, so favorite Disney attraction.
Shoot, Peter Pan's flight. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing.
Why? That's a good one.
Because like it's just, I mean, you would think it'd be cool, like, you know, I don't know, Haunted Mansion or like Tower of Terror or something that's like thrilling to a certain extent. No, I like to sit on my butt and watch animatronics. That's my jam.
Oh, and you have all the stars too. I think
Yeah,
that's
the
a fan favorite.
The dark rides are my favorite.
Okay, next one. Favorite Disney food.
Oh, pretzels through and through. Mickey pretzels. Sorry, not sorry.
With or without cheese?
I should. Oh my gosh, cheese for days. But I was gonna say turkey leg, but I've never had a turkey leg at Disney, and because of you guys, I will never have it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I feel like every episode it comes up at least once, and you guys are like, "Bleh." So I'm just not gonna do it. Plus, meat on a bone, like that's in general. Like
That's me too.
Really?
Yes, I hate it.
Okay. My husband's always like, you need to be a vegetarian. Like, just chill out. Like, take a step back. But I like bacon. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, it's just on the bone. Something about gnawing on a bone with meat,
Nope.
like I just hate it.
It's very caveman-like.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Watching someone like kind of tear, I can't.
Ugh.
No thanks. No thanks. No thanks.
Attention all DCPs, cast members, and all other Disney fanatics. Do you have an interesting story related to Disney?
Maybe you'd love to share what it was like working for the mouse, or why Disney holds a special place in your heart.
Or maybe you want to give us the dirty details about your roommate and how awful they are.
I mean, yeah.
Write into us. We'd love for you to share your story on the pod.
Or even have you share your story on the pod.
That too.
Don't worry, if you want to stay anonymous, you can. Christopher Marlando.
Reach out to us at twofingerpointpodcast.com/contact or DM us wherever you're connected.
Favorite Disney park?
Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
I think it's all nostalgia for me, you guys. Like, really. Like, I think it all just comes back to like, oh, when I went with my parents and my sister, like, you know, Magic Kingdom was the jam. I think Animal Kingdom opened when I was in high school. That makes me so old.
Isn't it weird just to remember the opening of a park?
Yes. Especially because I remember like the year going there. I remember sitting in Bugs Life being like, this is so cool. Bugs Life is not cool. I mean, it's cute, but like I thought it was the shit. I thought it was so awesome.
The little one with the seats that move, the show.
Yeah, like the bugs going under your butt.
I hate that so much.
Oh, I remember that one.
I hate that.
Is it not there anymore? Is it not there anymore?
It was in 2014 when I was there.
It better be there. I just, again, it's nostalgia. I remember being there and being like, this is so cool.
No, I never gave Animal Kingdom enough love because it was one of the parks that opened like a little bit later. So I didn't get as much time to love it. And so it's been kind of like a forgotten park for me. So whenever I do get back to Disney World, I want to give it some love that it didn't get back in the day from me.
Yeah. When I went in 2019, my friend brought me to like Nemo and the Lion King show. And I was just like, Lord, and you guys, honestly, what is it? Is it the Yeti ride? I'm forgetting that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What is the name of it?
It goes backwards, right? The roller coaster.
Yes, that's probably my favorite ride in that park. I mean, it might be my favorite roller coaster in all the parks, honestly. It's really cool.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so, what is your...
I'm with you, Amber.
Your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, Little Mermaid. You guys, come on. I mean, that's tough too, right? I probably have a top 10. That's the hard part. It's just, it depends on what you're in the mood for. Little Mermaid came out when I was like 9 years old. Again, I'm so old. I feel like I'm just dating myself. I have a Little Mermaid tattoo. The day I turned 18, I ran to the tattoo artist and I was like, I want a Little Mermaid. Interestingly enough, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to draw a cartoon on your body. I'll draw a mermaid and she can have purple seashells and red hair, but like, that's about it. And I still love it to this day. I think it's the coolest tattoo ever. And I just still love that movie. And I love showing my kids that movie now. It's just, again, nostalgia.
And now you have 2 versions to show your kids.
I know. I can't bring them to the latest one yet. It was when I saw it. I was like, oh, the sharks can be so scary. The shark wasn't that scary. But freaking Melissa McCarthy,
Yes.
like demonized, blown up. Like, what the actual hell? I couldn't handle it. I could not handle it.
Yeah,
My kids would freak out.
I was telling a friend about it because he had shared that he took his daughter to the movies for the first time ever, and they went and saw Mario. And then it was a LinkedIn post. He's like, "What's the newest movie you've seen?" So I, of course, had to talk about it because I had just seen it.
Yeah.
And he said, "Is it scary?" And I had to stop and think about it. And I was like, actually, for a little kid, that might be kind of terrifying.
Honestly, the animated movie when Ursula becomes huge is terrifying for kids. Like Sleeping Beauty and Little Mermaid are our 2 kind of household staples. I'd like to say that I've had no influence on my children, but I definitely have influence. My poor husband's like, what the heck is wrong with you guys? He's never been to Disney, by the way.
What?
My husband has never been to Disney World or Disneyland.
No, that needs to change.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I'm trying to convince him that it's going to be amazing and that he's going to cry when he sees like the kids be so in love with the princesses. But anyway, I've always been an Aurora and Ariel kind of girl, and my kids are definitely there. But like when like the scary music comes on during Sleeping Beauty and she's going to go prick her finger, like my 5-year-old's like, fast forward it. And same when like Ursula gets big. Like it's funny what scares kids, but that definitely does.
Hey, I remember I just watched this yesterday. It was The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It was the first time I've watched it since it was in the theater. And I remember being scared of like the fire at the end of it.
Yeah.
And so it always just wasn't one of my favorites. I loved Esmeralda, but that was it. I didn't want to watch it again. And I just watched it. And then it's such a good movie.
And the music is so good.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I have to send a clip to you, Kylie. They did a stage version of Hunchback, and the Hunchback was played by a deaf guy, and then like someone sang in the background, and so he signed the whole out there. It was so beautiful.
That.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's just so glorious to watch. I love stuff like that. But a lot of Disney movies like Hunchback and like Aladdin and Mermaid. I mean, so many of them are like made for, obviously they're movies, but made for the stage now too. So it's been really cool to see stuff like that be like actually like brought to real life.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, me too.
Well, and it reignites the classic too, right? Because like sometimes people, forget about the movie, but if you do like a stage version or something, it reignites everyone's love for that story.
Yep. Disney's just rake.
I mean, right.
Took me to see Aladdin on stage like a couple years ago. I was like touring through Minneapolis, and I swear the magic carpet started flying. I did started crying. Kylie and I were talking about this. Like I cry at everything Disney, like Tangled, freaking lantern scene. I will bawl my eyes out every single time. Like there's just some things that always get me, but the carpet flying just on stage was just magic. It was so magic. I don't even know what to say. Like I was just in tears. And that's the cool thing about stage stuff too, is like they can bring their own like Disney, like magic touch to like Broadway and, live performances too. I feel like Disney does everything just with a little bit of magic.
Yeah, and you being in theater, I was a theater kid too. I was more of like the stage manager, backstage tech person. I was into that stuff. And so being on that, you kind of understand that every person's role is important. And if one person messes up, you're not getting that magic. So seeing the magic and knowing what's going into it just makes it that much more like chill worthy.
Totally. I totally hear you. Yeah. I think Aladdin's actually coming in town this coming year. Frozen came in town last year. Aladdin's, and we couldn't go. We couldn't take my oldest because she was too young. But this year, I think I'm going to take her to Aladdin. And I'm just like, it's so funny. You guys don't have kids. I know that. But like for me now to like be a Disney like adult and love Disney, but now be able to like share it with my kids. Like there's just like this whole new joy. Like I'm loving everything all over again. And so I don't know. It's just really a fun new stage of life.
I'm sure Disney appreciates it too, because I feel like they've had to change the way they do things lately, because we're that Disney Channel, Disney generation, and we're growing up. And so they've kind of had to figure out how to grow with us. Whereas if we pull our kids into it, they can go back to the well-oiled machine.
Yep. I wasn't a Disney Channel kid. I think that was your generation for sure. Like, I think it was just kind of starting. I was more of a Nickelodeon child. But there's so many shows that you guys had on Disney Channel that I'm trying to just know about.
During the prime, we had, Raven Simone, Hilary Duff.
Like you had like Ariana Grande.
I think she's Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything. Liv and Maddie, is that Disney?
Yeah, that was Disney, but that was like kind of after our time. That was more, I think that was a little bit later.
I have a friend who was on that.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah. Did you guys watch that show?
I've seen it, like bits of it. My brother's seen it and watched it, so I've seen bits of it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know more about Disney Junior now because of, the kiddos, like Vampirina. I'm like, what the heck is this show? I guess we're gonna watch it. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I swear I can sing that hot dog song like till the end of time. It's always in my head, and my husband does the Goofy dance pretty well. You guys know what I'm talking about when Goofy dances at the end of the episode?
No, but I know
you guys.
I know Hot Diggity Dog.
It's to that song. Goofy's like his chosen dance is pretty ridiculous. My husband likes to be a goober like that. So,
oh, my friend, she's a mom. She's got a 6-year-old now. But recently we were talking about what her daughter likes, and she's like, "We love Bluey," and I was like, "I've heard of Bluey, but what is it?"
You guys.
I watched it because she was
Did
like,
you love it?
Yeah, she was telling me like the kids will zone out and go do something, and the adults are hooked to the TV. And yeah, I liked it.
So true. We definitely love Bluey here. What's nice about it is it's really short. Like they're not 30-minute episodes, and they like what I like as a parent is they show like this really happy, like loving family who like go through, like they're not perfect, but like there's so much love and you can feel it. And that kind of example for, your kids is so important for them to be able to like see on TV. And they're Australian. I love anything Australian. The cute little accents.
Yeah. What she pointed out to me that got me into actually taking a peek at it was that it shows that the adults are not perfect and they also make mistakes, and they own up to it and take responsibility.
Sure. Parenting is totally different now than I feel like it was, at least for me. I'm sure for you guys too. Like now, like I feel like my parents never apologized to me. They were always like had to be the adult. And with my daughter, like I've been promising her all weekend that I'll paint her nails for 4th of July because she's super like girly girl, like wants everything like sparkly, and I love it. She has a whole outfit planned for tomorrow. She is definitely my child. She is so cute. But I've told her I'd start doing it like on Friday, and I still like hadn't done it until this morning. But last night she was like, "Mommy, are you going to paint my nails?" I was like, "Yes, I'm so sorry. Like, I know I promised you." And I think apologizing it's just so important. Like like no one's perfect, right? But if I'm showing my kids that apologizing is easy and like a normal human function, then hopefully like they'll be good at doing it too when they get older.
100%.
We'll see.
Okay, circling back into the rapid fires. Oh my gosh,
you're so rapid fire. I'm like talking up a storm. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I feel like every podcast that does rapid fire, that's how it turns out.
Rapid fire my ass. Continue.
Who is your favorite Disney character?
Gosh, Ariel, come on, you guys. No, I mean, I know you have to ask. These are the questions. It's so hard because Ariel for sure. I don't know. Like if I were to tell you, so on our Disney Plus, I'm Ariel. My husband is Gaston. Side note, it's his dream to play Gaston on stage someday, but he's not an actor or a singer. And so it's really fun to encourage him to just live that dream. Lucy, my 5-year-old, is Aurora. I don't think that's changed yet. No, she's still Aurora. Charlie, my 1.5-year-old, was Joy from Inside Out, but now she is Nemo, because I don't know, like when Lucy was little and Charlie now too, like kind of around this age, like 1.5, 2, Nemo and Dory are our jam. We watch those movies like day in, day out. I was was never like, I guess we never really had that as kids though, when, you know, we had like all of it was like human beings, but I don't know, the fish, they just get the kids. Those fish.
That one's a comfort movie for me. I think it's because
Same.
So our car got broken into one night when I was younger, and so we were all a little startled from it. But we went, and back in the day, we went to Blockbuster and we rented Finding Nemo, and
You're aging yourself now.
Yeah. But we rented that and watched it as a family, and so like I think it just always takes me back to it was a comfort movie.
Okay, question then. Finding Nemo versus Finding Dory, which one's your fave?
I'm gonna have to go with Finding Nemo. I liked Finding Dory, but Nemo's classic.
It is classic. How about you, Amber?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Finding Dory, but I've seen like clips of it. I know,
What?
it's so bad. I know.
It's not bad. There are so many movies. How do you see them all?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's so hard. But honestly, I need to get back in there and watch a bunch of these movies because I'm dated on them. But I will say, Finding Nemo, solid classic. I don't know. There's something about it, and there's like it's a quotable movie. So like P. Sherman 42 Wallaby or P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way. Like know, I had to make sure I was saying it right too. But yeah, like I think it's just a cute movie. It's one of those ones where like everyone can watch it and love it. I think.
Yeah, for sure. My hot take is Dory. Finding Dory is my fave out of the two of them. And only because like there's something really like sweet and warm about, and Amber, you haven't seen the movie, so I'm not going to give anything away, but about like the aquarium and Destiny, like the beluga whale or the whale shark rather. And then like, what's his name from Modern Family? Phil Dunphy plays the beluga whale who like can't echolocate. It's just really cute. Yeah. And then like Hank the octopus, I don't know. I like it.
Hank's
like it a lot. They're both good movies. Don't get me wrong. I just really like Finding Dory.
Okay, so they both hold on to that feel good story.
Yeah.
I think I could love both of them for the stories that they are. But I think for me, Finding Nemo is always going to be a classic. Yeah. So
I hear you. You watch Finding Dory and you let me know.
Okay.
Okay. So favorite Disney villain?
Oof, Maleficent.
Yes.
I know. When I was hearing this story about your boyfriend making you Annette Maleficent, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I just like, she's just so badass. Like there's something super like vampy, like kind of campy about her. I really love just kind of like her over the topness. I don't know how much, I didn't really watch, I think I watched the Maleficent with Angelina Jolie. I didn't really get into it.
Same.
But like Sleeping Beauty for me, like Maleficent is just so cunning, and the whole like ending when she like turns into the dragon, like it just is so, it's just so, I don't know, it's kick ass. You know what I mean? Like there's just something really kind of cool about it.
100%. I'm like completely there with you. There was just something, like you said, super just badass about her character in the movie. I love it.
Yeah, me too. She's just, I think she like, I don't know. I think of like Jafar and Ursula. Like, those are good villains, but like, I don't know. There's just something really powerful, and like, I think Maleficent. I don't know. She's not like all bad. I think she's just she's super cool. She is all bad. What am I saying? She's really awful, but like there's just something really cool about her. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, totally. I'm totally with you there. I would totally stand behind you on that.
Okay.
She's cool. You just want to be on her good side.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like she would scare the living daylights out of me if I saw her in real life. I'd be like, no, like, yeah. Okay. So, real quick, speaking of villains, we were talking about Elemental right before we started recording. Like I went to see Elemental last weekend with my 5-year-old, and there's not a villain in Elemental, which I think is really freaking cool. Like, I feel like I don't know any Disney movie that doesn't have a villain. And like, I just like really love the fact that like, yeah, with Elemental, it's like a society, and then judgment is kind of the villain, but like there's not one person, which I don't know. Like you said, everyone's like doing the best they can with what they have, and I really like that.
Oh, that's good. I have to go watch it.
You do. I think you'd really like it.
Okay, and last question. What is your favorite Disney park show or parade?
Oof. Okay, it has to be the Belle, like just Belle, like the Beauty and Beast reenactment. Okay. Have you guys ever seen, there's a YouTube video of Mrs. Potts falling over and she's kicking her legs and she can't get up. And it's one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time. I'm going to send it to you because it's,
Yes.
you guys,
Yes.
it's just one of those, like, someone falls and you can't help but laugh like that. I don't know.
This is
It's
the
just-
one at Hollywood Studios?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like ginormous. So she falls over and you just see these little feet be like, I can't. Like, it's too good. It's so good.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Yeah. I think that show probably, I mean, again, it's nostalgia for me. I mean, like I said, Animal Kingdom with like Lion King and Finding Nemo, those are really great, like really good shows, like top notch quality. But Beauty and the Beast, like that Belle show just was, I don't know, it has such a good memory for me, I guess.
Yeah, because you were in a production of Beauty and the Beast, right?
I was, yes, I was. I really wanted to be Belle on that show too, but I am 5'11", little known fact about me. And that does not make a princess. And I tell you guys this because, interestingly enough, when I was in high school, my senior year, I didn't want to go to college. What I wanted to do was move to Anaheim and be a princess. And I like went online and I researched like auditions, and everything was like, you have to be 5'7", 5'6". And I was freaking pissed because, like, again, 5'11". They're like, well, you can be goofy. I'm like, no, screw you. Like, that is a slap in the face. It was just an insult. But I'll always be the sidekick, which isn't a bad thing, by the way. I'm not trying to be like, woe is me, but like, never the princess, which is fine.
No, they want, like, it's so weird. The character auditions, they're very adamant about their height, like with everything.
yeah.
Like you said, 5'7", I think is like the set height for the princesses. I think they range it up to like 5'9" now at the most, but they're very picky about it. I think, but it's very picky because some of the princesses are shorter, so they want some of them to be shorter too. Some are like 5'3".
Alice and Tink. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, when you think about it, like, they don't want to make new costumes for each and every person who they hire. So like, it makes sense that they want to just be like, hey, here's this person. Plus, like, Disney does a great job of like having consistency with every, character. And I think that's smart. That's so smart. Like, you don't want to see a random, like, super tall, like, Tinkerbell, like, hey guys, just like this ginormous Tinkerbell and be like, what's happening here? But it broke my heart. I'll tell you what.
I feel
Dream
you.
Shattered.
I went to the DCP thinking the same, like, I want to be Belle.
Oh, really?
And then you have to be 5'7" or mouse height, or Tinkerbell is 5'2", and I'm 5'5". So
yeah, you're like, unbreak my heart.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we're gonna start a new segment we're gonna do every week, and it's called Our 2 Finger Points. So we're just coming with our thoughts, unpopular opinions, hot takes, whatever you want to call it, and we're just going to talk about them. So I will start. So my first one, this might show my exact age, but Allie and AJ walked so Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus could run. I just feel like they were way underrated, and they were great, and they're still great. Yeah, I feel like they should have gotten more hype for what they did.
I feel like they were definitely kind of swept under the rug. They had like a potential breakup song, and then after that kind of banger, like, kind of fizzled out. Nobody really appreciated anything else from them. And honestly, yeah, I think we were kind of getting over like girl bands and duos and stuff, that I think that's kind of why we kind of moved into like the Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus's, because we were more into the independent, like, standalone singer, because we kind of went into that era in like the later 2000s.
Yeah, and they were kind of like the singer-songwriters, and I feel like that genre generally gets swept under the rug.
Yeah.
This is a Disney Channel thing, isn't it?
Yes. It was like Disney music. So like they had their music videos on the channel, and then there was also Radio Disney back then.
What is happening? So like Hannah Montana is Miley Cyrus, right?
Yes.
You guys, I'm with it.
We want to okay, so my hot take of the week, still Disney Channel related, but High School Musical specific.
Oh, I know that.
So I feel Gabrielle Montez was actually the real villain of High School Musical. Sharpay was not the actual villain. So here's my hot take. So, Sharpay had spent her entire high school, career trying to get into this one musical that was like her senior year musical, or was it junior, either junior, senior year, whatever it was. But she'd been, you know, working up towards it. And then Gabriella just comes in and like gets the lead randomly. Like, I feel like Sharpay had every right to kind of be a little pissed. Like, who wouldn't be?
Yeah, and I feel like Vanessa Hudgens' voice has come a long way from then. But like, I never understood why she was casted. But then again, Zac Efron couldn't sing at all at that point.
I love Zac Efron.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
He's dreamy.
He is dreamy. He is dreamy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. At least Sharpay had like the star factor.
She did. Yeah. I mean, if anything, she definitely deserved better. Sharpay was always getting pushed to the side. Now, like, she was bitchy, but I mean, what girls kind of weren't in high school? I feel like we were all a little bit bitchy. We're hormonal. We're trying to figure out all these emotions, and everyone's kind of like coming at us, you know, guys, and we're trying to figure out guys who our boyfriend's probably cheating on us or something. Like, I don't know. Like, no, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like she worked really hard for everything, whereas I feel like it was kind of like you know, Gossip Girl reference for, you know, Blair versus Serena. I feel like, you know, Blair worked really hard for a lot of things and Serena just kind of skated by. It was the same concept of like one girl worked really hard and one just kind of got everything handed to her.
Very true. Although I will say Ryan kind of carried her too.
True.
Who, Sharpay? Isn't right? Is Ryan her brother?
Her brother, yeah.
I saw High School Musical on stage. I have not seen the movie.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. But I will say, I think to your point, Amber, like when someone, especially in high school theater, is like working their ass off to get like the lead their senior year, and then like some random human comes in and just gets it, like that would piss me off too.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, I did that. I was the Vanessa Hudgens person in high school my senior year. I swooped in and grabbed a lead role, but didn't work hard for it.
We forgive you. It's okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's okay.
I'm just trying to be honest here, you guys. I feel like... But like, yeah, I think it's totally bitchy. So I was a total bitchy high schooler as well. So I'm with you on all accounts here.
So Zoe, do you have a hot take or anything?
I do. I have a few hot takes. So I think my number one right now, especially with you two, because I think you guys are going to be like, what is like scary stuff does not have a place at Disney World. Like,
okay, interesting.
Like Halloween, like I don't want stuff for my kids. Like I know that's, you don't have to bring your kids, like, you know, the scary Halloween party. Like I get it. I just don't think scary stuff has a place within like the happiest place on earth.
So what you're saying is they should give us Villain Land completely separate.
Totally agree. I really love that idea. I think it's super smart. I like the idea of Villain Island. Like I think someone mentioned that. Yeah. You guys, they're stealing our ideas. Well, we all know there are some islands that are like just abandoned that just need to be like okay, seriously. Okay. I feel like I have so many tangents to go on right now, but the creepypastas were awful. I did not know what a creepypasta meant. Again, I'm so old. So I'm carrying him at like 1 a.m, like doing dishes because I'm up in the middle of the night and I'm listening to your creepypastas, and I get so scared, very upset, and really mad at you two for releasing all of those. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm not into anything scary. And the idea of Villain Island would be really cool, and they should do it. So then they can separate all the scary stuff.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my hot take. But I'm a scaredy cat. Like I just don't want anything freaky and scary to be around my house. I will just dream about it. I'll have nightmares for days about anything, and it can be really stupid and not scary at all. But to me, it'll be really scary.
Yeah, no, and see, that's why I think Villain Island. First of all, you just expanded our eyes to something even crazier than we could have thought. But yeah, I think even the concept of like Villain Land for us too, like we've talked about, it would be more like of a not so scary Halloween type of vibe. Because you don't want to scare kids that may want to go into Villain Land too. Because, you know, some kids do like the villains. They find some of them endearing. So like they're going to want to go in and see some of the, you know, more quirky characters.
See, but like Gaston walking around the park is one thing. But then like going into the old like Snow White dark ride, which is obviously not there anymore, but in Fantasyland, like it scared me half to death as a kid when like the freaking evil queen shows up, the animatronic evil queen. So like I just feel like there's such a villain discrepancy. You know what I mean? Like I will watch Gaston for days, but put me in front of freaking evil queen and I'm gonna lose my shit.
It's a spectrum for sure.
It is. It totally is.
Well, thanks for sharing, ladies, your 2-finger points. Hey, Amber.
Hey, Kylie.
Have you been on our website lately?
You mean our really awesome website that will show you where you can stream the podcast?
That one. Not only can you stream from the site and see all the platforms we stream on, but you can also take fun Disney-themed quizzes and even grab our itineraries and scavenger hunts for the parks.
What? We have all that?
Duh! We gotta give the people what they want.
Go visit our website, twofingerpointpodcast.com. That's the number 2 spelled out, TWO, twofingerpointpodcast.com for all the good stuff.
So now we're going to get into our story of the week. So I found this in the depths of the internet. This is an archive from a website called lamag.com, and it is called Pirate's Booty, an ex-Jack Sparrow spills on life at the Magic Kingdom. Annual pass holders, eventually you would become the favorite of certain ones. Most characters were weirded out by pass holders. Weird was a mother having her kids ditch school so she could come see me, or coming to every set I did and walking the line over and over again just to talk to me. But I didn't mind them. I built up about 8 solid regulars that came for me. My biggest fans were a mother-daughter team that would talk a little, walk to the end of the line, and then come around again. I could see them twice a week, every set. We were told Disney prefers that characters don't date, and the characters even have a slogan, "Don't date Disney," or DDD. Dating at Disneyland is difficult, but I already had a thing for the Ariels when I arrived. So this one's for you, Zoe.
Oh my gosh!
They have red hair, and I love red hair. After I met my girlfriend, an Ariel, and we started dating, we would need to talk to each other backstage under our coats because employees would try to snap photos with their phones, Ariel and Jack together. One problem about playing a character at Disneyland is that you are the Hollywood of the park. For the most part, ride operators and the people making the food love the characters, and they treat them like royalty. But the leads, the park's assistant managers, every character had problem with them. The smallest rule broken, they call upper management and complain. For the most part, if you're not in trouble, you don't see management. It wasn't until the end that I started seeing them a lot. I had a lady who wrote on a comment card that her son had seen me and said, "Look, it's Jack Sparrow." And Jack Sparrow had turned around and said, "No shit." My manager said, "I don't think you would say this, but where'd they get the idea?" I said, "If they're in a stroller, I say nice ship." She told me to say nice boat from now on. What people typically get suspended or fired for is hugely flawed point system. If you're part-time and you build up 24 points, you can be fired. Points come from things like clocking in late, even only a minute late. That's 1.5 points on your record. You call in sick for the day of work, 3 points. I was driving from LA and traffic in the morning was awful, so I started coming in at 6 because I was worried about being late. I'd arrive early, get breakfast, and then forget to clock in on time. I never heard anything about it until 7 months later on a day when I was actually late, and they told me I had 23 points. At that time, I was working 5 days a week. Now every day I had to worry about hitting that clock because I was up for being fired if I missed it. We were also not allowed to post pictures of ourselves in costume on MySpace. Oh, this is
MySpace.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, Lord.
But I had a picture of Ariel and me kissing backstage, a photo I kept on my private page. I was warned by friends to take it down, and I did, but not before someone made a copy of it and turned it into Disney. Management pulled me in and talked to me about it. Then I got a good amount of money back on my tax return, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation was holding a fundraiser where for $1,500, you could see the premiere of the third Pirates film at the park. My girlfriend and I bought tickets. People who had worked earlier premieres said attendees came in costume. I had my own pirate costume and thought, let's go in costume. I was playing the danger, but my contract said I could dress up if I wasn't being paid. They closed the park early that night and showed the movie over the river by the ride on a huge screen. It was amazing. A week goes by. I think nothing of it. Then I see Other Sparrow is scheduled the same day I'm on. I didn't know what was happening until a manager came in and said, we got to take you down and talk to you. At the premiere, some foreign press outfit had done an interview with me. They asked my name. I didn't give my real name, Pinto. I gave my stage name, Hillock. But someone behind the camera also filmed the interview and they put it on YouTube. Management said, we saw the video, you went to the premiere, you gave your real name, and you were letting them go on that. I said I wasn't working that night, but they told me that I still represented the company. They had a manager walk me off the property. She told me she felt bad. She took me past security and then asked for my Disney ID. I asked when I could come back, and she said in 5 years I could reapply. You'd hear that it sucks to work for Disney. They're Nazis in Mickey hats, but I'd thought, how bad could it be? By the time I got fired, half of me was relieved. I was getting sick of constantly being barked at about what to do. It was a month before I went back to the park. I missed it. At first, I thought it would be a walk of shame, but everyone was nice. Not long after that, I went back to stand in my girlfriend's Ariel line on Valentine's Day and give her flowers. I was wearing a beanie and a sweatshirt, but the parents in line were asking me, are you Jack Sparrow? You're him, aren't you? I looked to the line's host, who was a friend of mine. He said, you don't work here anymore. Do what you want. But then I did what I was trained to do, and I said, Jack Sparrow and I are just friends.
You guys, oh my gosh, you would never know, which is to everyone's credit, you would never know that working for Disney sucked so much for so many people. Like it's honestly, listening to your podcast has kind of, been an eye opener for me, to that vein, because I, as just, a person who enjoys like going on rides and meeting characters, like the characters are just always spot on and in character and seemingly like so happy. Like you would never expect anyone to say something like, no shit. You know what I mean? Like that just seems just so out of any sort of Disney experience I've ever heard of. But I don't know, it just sucks to hear that people, dream of working at the happiest place on earth. And then like you feel like you are working for a bunch of Nazis. Like it does seem really strict. Like I remember you guys talking about the point system and being late, and I'm just like, oh, holy crap, that sounds miserable. Like I would be freaking anxious all the time.
I don't know if what he's saying holds true on that though, because if you had 23 points, you'd be long gone. You can
really?
I think you can only get 4 points every 6 weeks or something like that. And then that turns into a reprimand. And if you get so many reprimands, then you're gone. But they do wipe out every 6 weeks.
Well, he's saying MySpace, so maybe this was before our time. So maybe they let you accumulate up to that point at that point. Because maybe they were wiping them out every like quarter, every 3 months versus like every 6 weeks. But I will say, I think this is an interesting point of view, because I think like us being just the generic cast members who did like ODV and quick service, I think it's interesting to hear from a character or friend of a character's point of view, because I think we normally hear or we assume that they're, constantly getting like the royal treatment compared to us. And it's interesting to see that, that's not necessarily always the case.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, sorry, go ahead, Kylie.
Oh, go ahead.
I just feel like, I mean, you would think like I would want to play a character, like that would be my dream job at Disney. But it makes sense that like they would be under a microscope, because they are the people that most of the patrons are going to see. Like they are really the face of Disney in those special Disney moments. I mean, you see those TikToks of like a little kid dressed as Flounder and Ariel walks past and she turns and like talks to, like, those are freaking magical moments. I'm always just blown away at how characters or the character actors can improvise so quickly and so beautifully and like seamlessly. And you can't imagine that they're not anyone else but that character. But it would make sense why Disney would be like just totally on your ass like all the time and making sure that you're absolutely 100% perfect, which for a recovering perfectionist would suck. It would just suck. I would hate being a character for that reason.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Whether you're on the clock or not, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're representing the company.
And it's like, it feels like they own you. Like, that's how it sounds to me. It's just very interesting because it's, that's, again, we're talking about 9 to 5. Like, the nice thing about 9 to 5 is you clock in, you clock out, you're done, like, peace. Like, no one cares what you do after hours. I mean, to a certain extent, right? But like, when you work for Disney, you are Disney. Like, Disney owns you. I don't know. It's just like, that's the vibe I get. Maybe, am I wrong?
No, I would, yeah, I was gonna say, no, I felt that way even from our standpoint. And again, we were in an internship too. So they definitely like, they held us to a different like handle that they owned us in a different way. Cause it was, you know, on top of not only working for them, but like our living situation they owned too. So they owned literally all aspect of us on the clock and off the clock.
I think it's crazy you guys paid rent.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
And then you get paid like in pennies. Like, I remember my friend who did DCP in 2019 and she was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for gas this week. Like, it was insane. And I've heard you guys talk about the same kind of issue. Like, I don't want to use a phrase like taking advantage of, but sometimes it feels like you guys are young. You guys were older in terms of the DCPers. Like, I got that from, you know, your first 2 episodes, but it just seems like a lot of kids are just like kind of fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of taking advantage of that naivete, if you will. I don't know. Like, it just makes me sad a little bit. It doesn't ruin Disney for me. I mean, I don't think anything really like that could ruin it, but it does break my heart a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. My stance is I love it from a consumer point, and I'm just going to keep it at a consumer point from this day forward.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good point too, because I think there are like any profession, if you really are passionate, like I was talking earlier about like loving what you do. Like, I loved theater until like I was doing theater because I needed a job. Like, I would take shows not because I wanted to do them, but because like I needed a paycheck. And like, same thing with yoga. Like, I love to practice yoga, but at a certain point, like, I didn't want to teach. Like, I was so burnt out of like yoga. I just wanted to practice and be like in my own zone and not be worried about like what I was saying and what the teacher was doing. Like, it just, I think in any job, like it's just this balance. If you really love something, maybe just keep it like something that you love versus making it your livelihood. I don't know. That's just a hard thing that I think I struggle with.
Yeah, it's kind of like never meet your heroes.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I like that.
So we have a game we're going to wrap up with. So it's called Character Countdown. So I'm going to give you both a cryptic hint towards a Disney movie, and you guys are going to place bets on with how many characters I can give you before you're able to name it. And
I like it.
Take turns talking each other down until one of you says, guess that movie. So once you do that, I will give the number of that we've decided of characters, and the guesser will have 10 seconds to name the movie. And if you run out of time or you're incorrect, the other person will have 10 seconds to guess after being given all 10 of the characters. So since Zoe is our guest, we'll let you start with the bets. So you can say that you can name the movie anywhere between 10 and 1 characters. So our hint for the first one is there is power in laughter.
Oh.
Okay, I can name that movie in 5 characters. Are you taking notes, Amber?
Yeah.
The paper?
I'm just writing power and laughter.
I'm just kidding.
I think I can guess in 2 characters.
Name that movie.
Okay, so 2 characters are George and Schmidt.
Oh, maybe not. Wait, hold on.
You got 10. You got 8 seconds.
Is this the Three Stooges?
That is incorrect.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I would have guessed that. No.
Is that a Disney movie?
I don't
It's
know.
not. It's a black and white TV show.
Oh, I thought it was a
What's
movie.
happening?
They might have had a
Embarrassing.
movie.
Okay, I'm sweating.
Okay, so I'm going to read all 10, and Zoe, you'll have 10 seconds.
I get all 10?
You get all 10.
Yeah, because I failed.
Okay, so we have George, Schmidt, Smitty, Needleman, James, Fungus, Randall, Celia, Mike, and Roz.
Monsters, Inc.
Monsters Inc. is correct.
Wait a minute. I'm so angry because I knew that was the movie that I thought it was. And then you gave me these characters that I was like, who are these people? So then I guessed a totally random movie. She threw me off my game because I thought it was Monsters Inc. because
It's a
Power and
non-Disney
Laughter.
movie. Like you went way,
I-
way.
You went rogue.
I'm so like, I'm sweating. I'm embarrassed. Like,
Don't be embarrassed.
that's going out to everybody. You guys, you're welcome. You can laugh. Okay. This is me. This is me. This is real. This is me.
Dang it.
So George, if you're wondering, George is George Sanderson, who is the poor soul that keeps getting 2319.
Oh, I
I
love
do
him.
too.
So these are kind of eccentric up until the higher ones.
You get to like Celia and Roz, and you're like, oh, well, that's
Yeah.
a big
Yes.
DUH. Like I can name that one right now.
Oh my God. I was so mad because that was, like I said, when she said Power and Laughter, I was like, wait a minute. That's why I asked for 2 because I knew what I was looking for. And I thought she
Yeah.
was just going to give me a name that I could think of. And I knew most of the characters.
Mike
And
and,
then-
Sully, and you'd be like, well, duh. Like I'm in
Yeah.
it. I got this. No, and she said some weird ass names. I don't blame
Yeah.
you. I would have been so confused too.
And Sully's first name is James. So
Oh,
I switched that to
P.
James.
Sullivan.
Oh my God. See, she completely, okay. So now I understand how the game works. The game is set to confuse
Correct.
you. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're being
Okay.
correct.
Okay. I'm not going to take notes anymore. They're not doing me any good.
Okay, so round 2, insecurity can bring on curses. So since Zoe got the last one, you can set the first bet again.
You name this movie in one character.
Okay. So with
Name that movie.
All right.
Wreck-It
Wreck-It
the
Ralph
bet
2.
still?
Ralph breaks the internet.
Oh, you don't want your one character?
Isn't it?
That is incorrect. So Amber, you get all 10.
Okay.
So we have Philip, Leah, Duke, Hubert, Samson, Stefan, Flora, Fauna, Aurora, and Maleficent. You have 10
Sleeping
seconds.
Beauty.
Yes, that's correct.
Wait,
Well,
hold
I
on.
thought I was.
First of all, Sleeping Beauty. You can't see it.
Oh, we were able to see.
What was the clue again?
Insecurity can bring on curses. So because Maleficent felt slighted by not being invited, all of
I was
that
so
curse
excited about
rooted
the fact
in her
that I knew it.
insecurity.
See, she gets you. I'm telling you, like, you feel confident in your answer. I mean, first of all, I don't know, like, but then it's Three Stooges. I'm still like, I'm going to be grocery shopping today being like, you idiot.
Leave yourself alone. It's so minor. You idiot.
But yeah, she makes you feel confident that you know the answer, and then she throws you with something. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, this is not an easy game. I knew
I
I
was
had
so
Disney
confident.
experts here, so I was like, let's go today.
Yeah,
This
she
is
doesn't
tough.
make it easy.
No.
Okay, so we're tied 1-1.
Okay.
All right, so the third one, you can learn a lot from your ancestors. So Amber, you get to go ahead and start the betting.
I'm going to go with 4.
I can do it in 3.
Oh. Name that movie.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so you said 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have Abel, Victoria, and Oscar.
What? What's the clue again? I didn't take notes.
You can learn a lot from your ancestors.
Oh, geez. I thought it was Moana, but that's just definitely not Moana. Is it Moana?
It is not Moana.
Yeah, definitely Abel's not in Moana.
Okay.
That was my original guess too, but now.
All right, so Amber, for the steal, I'll give you the 10. It's Abel, Victoria, Oscar, Rosa, Berto, Juan, Miguel, Hector, Imelda, and Ernesto.
I think I know what this movie is. I haven't seen it, but is it Coco?
It is Coco.
Yeah.
I feel like the way to win this game is to not bet the lowest and let someone fail, and then you get all 10 and then you win. Like, that's the only way.
Or set the bet low. Okay, so the next one is A New Walk of Life.
I'm gonna try it in 5. New Walk of Life.
You can name that movie.
Okay.
I'm trying my tactic.
I know, right?
So we have Eric, Alana, Grimsby, Carlotta, and Flotsam.
That's so unfair.
Is this got to be a Wreck-It Ralph, right?
That is incorrect.
Oh, I don't know. Carlotta, for some reason, I thought was the Wreck-It Ralph little girl. What's that little girl's name?
Penelope.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Zoe, do
You don't need to give me the other one.
Go ahead.
The Little Mermaid. I
This
mean,
is
you
The
said
Little
Eric
Mermaid.
and Grimsby, and it's like, here we are.
Grimsby.
Amber, I am
Grimsby is
Amber.
like his right-hand man, the guy with the white hair.
Really? I know. I'm disappointed. I'm telling you right now, I am off my game because. But you gave me some really. Wait, what did you give me again for characters?
Eric?
I know Eric was what I thought Little Mermaid instantly, but then you gave me all these other people I didn't know.
Alana, which is one of her sisters. Grimsby, which is, I don't know his title, but he's like his like right-hand man.
Yeah.
And then Carlotta, she, I believe, is the Queen's fair maiden.
Oh, she's
right?
oh no, I think Carlotta is a sister, isn't she? No, maybe not.
No, all the sisters start with A.
Oh, she's like the maid who like helps the chef. Yeah,
Yes.
I know who you're talking about.
And then
And
who's
then
number 5?
Flotsam, which is the little eels.
Flotsam and
That's what
Jetsam.
they're. God, see, I don't know a lot of the names of these other characters in the movie, which is what's going to be my downfall. I'm telling you, see, I'm not good at this. She gets me with these games because I think I know things and I don't. And I've seen these movies. I'm telling you, I'm going to be just in the grocery store like, you could have done so much better today.
All right, so this one might make you guys angry too. This is our tiebreaker though. It's the last round. The hint
2-2.
Yeah, it's 2-2. So the hint is there's strength in family. So Zoe, you get to start the betting this time.
I will name this movie in 4 characters.
Name that movie.
Oh,
All
shoot.
right.
Come on.
You did it to me. And I embarrassed myself again.
So this might be actually the line of where it does not give it away. So we have David, Myrtle, Grand Councilwoman, and Bubbles.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, there we go. Lilo and Stitch. So Zoe won.
Good job. Honestly, good job. That was tough, right? That was like.
It was really fun to come up with these.
She never
Excited
lets
to
me
play
off
a game
easy.
with you. Well, your games are great though. Like you are pretty tough. I will say when you guys did the one with was it with your boyfriend Amber where you guys were guessing the song?
Yeah.
I was like talking at my podcast. I was like, I was just like yelling at you. I was so engaged.
I think that was the week I was away, and same. I was like, it's this.
How did you not know that?
Yeah.
But we got
was
some
tough.
great sound bites out of that. And I love that Eric just sings. Like he has no care in the world. He'll just sing on the podcast.
It's true.
Where Amber said paint with the colors of the wind, bitch.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I was listening to that, I was dying.
I know. I want to play I think we should create another one with our own fill in the blank lyrics and play it again because I think it could be really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up here. But before we do, Zoe, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, yes. I am on Instagram at practically Ariel in every way. Same thing on Facebook, but on Facebook it's more, I think the title is Magical Travel with Zoe. So either practically Ariel or magical travel. Instagram is like the thing though. So Facebook feels like just like an old people place.
It
So
is.
Instagram for sure. Instagram, you can find like my email. There's also like a form to fill out on my link tree if you guys, or if anyone has any questions or wants like a quote, you guys get a free quote for for a trip or whatever. So if you have an interest at all, and there's just no pressure or obligation to commit, just fill out the interest form and I'll get back to you. But
yeah. So if anybody is interested in planning a trip, definitely check out Zoe, and you guys should follow her anyway, because she has really fun posts. Like that's how I learned she was in a production of Beauty and the Beast. She just gives some fun Disney related tidbits on her life too.
Oh, thanks. Oh, and by the way, this is I think it's really cool about Disney. My services are free. So like if you guys were to book a trip, you don't pay anything extra. Like you would, if you pay the same thing you would pay if you would book on your own. So Disney pays me in terms of support and commission. Like my services are completely free to the client.
So give Zoe a cut and she'll do all the footwork for you.
Yep. I will. I definitely will.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you next week on Two Finger Point Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Two Finger Point, hosted by Amber Omar and Kylie Salmon. Created by Amber Omar and Kylie Salmon. Produced by Amber Omar. Engineered by Kylie Salmon. Social media managed by Kylie Salmon. Content created by Amber Omar and Kylie Salmon. Stay connected with us by following us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube at Two Finger Point Podcast with the number 2 spelled out, TWO. You can also contact us by visiting our website at twofingerpointpodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast to have new episodes automatically downloaded to your device or to get alerts of our new episodes on YouTube. We greatly appreciate you rating and reviewing our podcast as well. You could be selected to have your review read on the podcast, like this review here from our friend Zoe, My Disney Podcast Fix. Amber and Kylie have put together the perfect podcast about all things Disney. Love to hear their banter, their opinions, their recommendations, and I love following along with their quiz at the end of each episode. You know it's a good podcast when you find yourself chiming in. Listening to them every week has me feeling connected to the parks even when I'm far away. Thanks, ladies. Thanks to you too, Zoe. We will catch you next Tuesday for our next episode, but until then, have a magical day.